In this video, we're going to be drawing a graph using properties. So this is part 2 of doing this type of graphs. We've already have part 1 out there. You can also check it out when you have time. So we have the properties as follows. We have the list like this, and as usual, I said I try and at least maybe analyze the properties first, then go and draw my Cartesian plane. Then after drawing my Cartesian plane, I'll just come back and continue with my analyzing, starting with the simplest ones moving to the toughest ones. So if you can see, as I said, I actually like to group them together, that okay, these ones would go together, these ones and these ones, you see. So these ones are normally the easiest ones to start with. Then these two, where you're talking about your first derivative, they always tell you whether the graph is increasing or decreasing in those particular regions. Then these last two, where you get your second derivative, these ones, they are talking about your concavity, where we've mentioned that you can have your concave down, concave up, and your concave down, you see. So these are controlled by these signs that you see. If it's greater, it means it's going to be concave up. If it's less than, it's going to be concave you are concave down, then that one, it's going to be up. So yeah, we start by analyzing that. Okay, they're saying if our x is 2, then we're gonna have a value of y that is 5. Then we go and write that one, since we're starting with the simplest one. Then now the other one says, okay, if we're having our y at 0, this would imply that our x would be equals to -1 and x will also be equals to 5. Then we can just quickly go and mark those twos, that okay, we are done. This one we did it, this we did, this one we did. Then now they're saying for the first derivative, this one is just going to be greater than 0. It means it is increasing. I'm just going to write a positive sign. Then for this region, it is negative, which is decreasing because of this sign. So now I know, let's just do it like this, that I'm gonna draw a vertical line exactly where I have my drain. So what is this telling me? This is telling me is that here, this is telling me for the region where I have x that is greater than 3, it's this region going that side. It means my graph is going to be negative or decreasing, you see. So how is my graph going to be like? It's going to be something that looks like this. But now we still need to determine something that's going to be unknown within those ones. So now it says for the region where x is less than 3, it's from this region going to that one, it's going to be positive. It means it's going to be a graph that looks like this, which is going to go up. So now we come to this side. They're saying between the region -1 to 2, see, between the region -1 to 2, here -1 to 2, they're actually having what? They're actually having a concave up graph. Concave up graph. So you see, as we said, we have something, our concave up sign like this, and we said we can break this one into 2, since this side is negative, this one is positive. we can only be able to use this one in the graph. So it means now between -1 and 2 we can go and say what we're going to have something that looks like this. You see? So we've done that one. Then it says now your graph is going to be concave down where we have x, in the region where we have our x being less than -1. This is this region. What is concave down looking like? Concave down looks something like this. And you see, if we were about to split these two, we can't put this one here, but we can rather take this part and match it to that one. So it means now we're going to be using this part. So it means now we're going to be having something that looks like that. You see? So it is also gonna be concave down in which region? Where we're having x being greater than 2. X being greater than 2, let me just do it like this. So it's going to be going up, but remember, they said something like in that region where it is greater than 3, it is going to start decreasing. So we're actually going to be having a steep point, but we don't know the exact value where it's going to be turning. So you can just do it like this. Not necessarily that it's going to be on 6. Actually, you can even just like erase these numbers because you don't know where it's going to be 10, but you're just following what you are given. That in that region where you have x being greater than 2, it is actually going to be what? It is going to be concave down. So it's going to be concave down. Then now you go back again to the region where they said your x is going to be greater than 3. This one, they said it's going to be negative or decreasing. It means it is going to be this odd. So now it means you can go and write it like this, that you're going to have a graph that looks like that. You see? So sometimes you do just have to be careful with how you write your graph and your interpretation, because the thing that might trick you is actually this portion. And sometimes if you study it like this and you interpret one part at a time, you actually see that okay, this one is going to be increasing. It doesn't mean for the entire region from here to there. You always have to check in between those numbers and also on the other side of that number what is happening based on the properties that you are given. After you are done with everything, it is then that you're gonna come back again and verify if indeed you did the correct things. You go again and check the properties and interpret them one by one to make sure that you are on the right track. But this one looks good. Just that on your paper, it's just gonna look much better than the one that we had. And that's it. See you on another video. In another video, we're going to be starting with the cos and the sine graph. So basically how you can draw them given a problem to solve. So if you're finding these examples useful, you know what to do. You can subscribe, then we'll meet in another video. Have a great day.